So this is one of those videos that I'm not a big fan of showing. Its trials and tribulations of the modern farmer and technology. And so I was out last week trying to finish up a little bit of fall tillage where I was actually going to plant wheat, and the big girl laid down on me, and she coated the 6495 coded for mass computer failure on the Massey does not call it an ECM, it calls it an ENM or EMM. So anyway, don't need to tell anybody what's going on with disruptions. To make a long story short, it took a week to get the computer here, and I assumed that it had to be shipped from Europe because it was not showing in Batavia. And then it showed in Batavia, but it still took it about 5 days to get here. So the 6495, this high horsepower and convenience is nice, but it comes with a cost. And so the tech is on his way and bringing the new computer, which has to be programmed with constants to match the injection pump. Should be pretty straightforward. I texted him an image of the tag off of the injection pump, and so hopefully it's simply a matter of hooking it up and turning on the key and programming in some constants, and the big girl will be rolling again. But for those of you who have these tractors, the code number was 9,000. It said error 9,000. And when it says error 9,000, that means the whole engine control module has failed. And so that's what we have going on. Of course, I did my prep work. The big computer lays in right there. I did my prep work, and there's the monstrous cord that hooks him up. I did my prep work to speed things along for Riley. It's very nice. We are getting good dealer support, you know, and so actually that might be the plug where he programs the computer. I guess we're going to learn all kinds of things here in a little bit. Needless to say, this was not a bargain barn repair. I think the computer's a little over $3,000. So I think I hear a truck pulling in. I hear a truck pulling in. Hopefully it's him. And just like that, the big girl is back together and running. So thank Riley for coming down and harmonizing the new computer to the injection pump, and away we go theoretically. Get ready to spread some lime too on the new ground. Right now, since Claire is taking a lunch break, I have got to get back up and get back to cleaning clover. We're trying to get ready to ship some clover next week. Okay guys, so we have started moving the mountain of manure. There is my big load. And we have acquired a lime pile. And we have closed on the farm. So we'll take a look on the hill up there about what we got. There is our beautiful cornfield in the bottom. And there is the creek that was the south boundary of my property. Now you will understand why I'm using the 6495 to pull that load of manure, because we bought this 80, and it's a short 80 because my brother's house is cut out of it, and there's another house cut out of the 80 right over the hill here, but we've got to climb this big hill, and you can hear the tractor pulling down. Well, we're not in 4th gear, we're actually in 3rd range. We were in D, so there's 3rd range C. We have to pull the hill in 3rd range C. We're climbing up to the top of the hill. There's the other neighbor's house that's cut out of the 80. There you can see through the trees where I have been spreading. And we're not going to climb quite to the full hill yet, because I'm not going south. What I am doing is starting on kind of this north slope. So we'll get shifted down range here. Parts of this hill are pretty poor soil, and parts of it, this is probably about the steepest part right here. Get up to here where I've been starting my loads. There you can see our very steep terraced hilltop farm. So we will go down to 1st range here. And fire the PTO. Fire the drag chain and just get started spreading. So Dad came over this morning and he made some remark of why I asked me why I was spreading manure with the 6495, and well, this is why we're spreading manure with the 6495. So that is actually a tile drain terrace there. They have put the subterranean things in it. Subterranean inlets. I don't know how those will last under our management plan. We may have to put uprights on them. But this farm is the north slope to the very clay hilltop, and it is desperately needing what we are doing today. So the neighbor that bought the East 80 off of this was unable to afford the full quarter, and the neighbor right over the hill that way, well, that's where his family's farmstead was. His brother still lives over there. He actually lives about 6 miles west here. He bought the East 80 of this quarter on public auction, and he paid $555,000. And on that East 80, you know, the map kind of lies. It says there's over 60 tillable, but there's not. The true tillable, once you cut off the junk waste ground, is probably about 55 tillable acres. That's a pretty high price for 55 tillable acres. Anyway, the 80 that I bought here has 25 tillable acres on it, and we're obviously going to have to put in grass buffers because we do have chemical farmers on all sides now. But we may have to take out that little waterway we just drove through and go into the pasture there and put in a couple more tile drains and grab another 1.5 acres of ground and put in the drainage work for it. But what we got on the East 80 is we got about 43.5 acres of pasture. Along with the farm ground and the waste. But the waste is not waste to me because over the hill there, you can't see it, is some native-like forest. There's a nice little bit of forest. It's a pretty well-balanced farm. I get done with this run here, I'm about all the way east to the 80 line, and it's about time to turn back. There is what the neighbor bought, the other part of the hill. There is my 80 all the way up to the hilltop there. So we're gonna need to do some fence work. We did get a survey done. There's the survey line, bright green flag over there. But we bought an 80 that transitions from the creek down there all the way south to the very top of the hill. There you can see the farm in the distance and the grain bins way on the far hill over there. Pretty nice view up here working. Driving out, I'll drive up here to the very top of the hill and we'll see what it looks like from the top of the hill. So we're driving up the waterway here and heading to the very top of the hill. This farm has had corn on it 4 years in a row, and on Clay Hill, from an organic perspective, that's not very desirable. The neighbor did some soil testing over there, and he had pHs around 5 and lows of like 4.7, and so it is going to require some work. But from this hilltop, you can see about everything. You can see the Robinson elevator. You can see my farm down there in the valley. We will get right up here on the top of the hill. Now we're on the south boundary. On the peak of the hill. That yellow flag back there, you can see the little flags waving. That's the survey. We'll be building fence there before very long. Be putting a grass buffer in here. But this is the top of the hill. There's the elevator in the distance. There's my brother's house. And all the way up on the hill up there. Don't know if you can see it. I see a neighbor crawling along with an anhydrous tank, but there's the grain shed. And so we bought a big hilltop. Oh, that was in my other little clip there's the survey flag. And there is where they thought the boundary was. But the survey doesn't lie. And there, up ahead, is our big corner post that we are going to use to mark our new boundary. And I don't know if you remember, but last winter I did make a video when we were going after that hedge tree over there, but that was the big base. It doesn't necessarily look big in the video, but let me tell you boys, that is probably about an 1,800 pound chunk of hinge. Very solid. Picking that post up with the loader, that was kind of all you wanted on the loader. So, back to the manure pile. It's kind of pretty up here on the hill at night. I don't know if the camera's showing it, but boy, you can see a long, long ways off into the distance. See all the way up there to Hiawatha.